Dear students, welcome in 8th standard geography class. Hope you have solved your open book test. So let's start our third lesson, that is humidity and clouds. Page number you should see humidity and clouds, third lesson. Page number 16. You can see figure 3.1 on page number 16 and understand in which place such conversation is occurring. So if you will observe, if you will read that pictures, you will understand that first conversation is occurring in desert region. Desert region like Rajasthan, climate is hot and dry, sandstorm occurs frequently. Sandstorm means storm along with sand. Second conversation is occurring in a coastal region like Mumbai, Chennai, Goa. In such areas, climate is hot and humid and people get sweat. Third conversation is occurring in a mountainous or a Himalayan region like Kashmir, and in such region climate is dry and cold. Dear students, Rajasthan has dry and hot air. People wear loose clothes. Kashmir Valley air is cold and dry. People wear warm clothes like sweaters, jackets. And Mumbai's, Goa, Chennai's air is hot and humid. Moisture is high in air. Dark clouds remains in the sky. So hot, moist, cool. These words shows condition of air. Moisture in the air is invisible. We cannot see moisture, but it is the main component of air. For occurring rain, for occurring precipitation, presence of moisture is very important. Presence of moisture in air is very important. So students, let's study about evaporation. Evaporation is the process of converting water into water vapor due to sun's heat. The water on the earth gets converted into vapor. Evaporation processes depend upon following factors. Evaporation is depend upon dryness of air, temperature of air and wind speed. So how? Let's see. If air is dry and hot, evaporation increases. If air is dry and cold, evaporation takes place. Even in dry and cold air, evaporation takes place. Evaporation takes place very slowly in humid and moist air. Evaporation takes place rapidly, fast when the temperature of air is high. If wind is blowing slowly and air is cool, evaporation occurs slowly. And if wind is very fast and air is hot, evaporation takes place very fast, speedy. Okay students, use your brain power and answer this question. In which season do the clothes dry fast? Okay, give the answer. So in which season is humidity generally more? Humidity is generally more in monsoon. In which season do the clothes dry fast? In summer season clothes dry fast. In which season do the clothes take time to dry? In rainy season clothes take time to dry. Clothes take time to dry in rainy season because temperature is less and moisture is more. So let's understand what is humidity. The amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. Dryness of air or dampness of air depend upon the proportion of water vapor in the air. When water vapor is more, we can say dampness of air, and when the amount of water vapor is less, we can say dry air. Air is damp when moisture is more, when air is dry when moisture is less. When air cools, its capacity to hold moisture reduces. In cool air, cold air, capacity to hold moisture reduces. Hence, warm air hold more moisture. When air is more warm, temperature is more, air holds more moisture, and cold air holds less moisture. So in Kashmir, air is dry. In coastal region, air is moist, humid. At certain temperature, moisture holding capacity and moisture present in the air becomes equal, and this condition is called saturation of the air. This is a new concept, saturation of air. When we can say the saturation of air, when the moisture holding capacity of air and moisture in the air becomes equal, this condition is called saturation of air. Students, on page number 17, one activity is given. Read that activity nicely, observe the picture, do that activity at home. So how is that activity? Okay, take a tray which is deeper in the center. You have to take a tray which is deeper in the center. Take a piece of sponge you have to take. On the flat part of the tray, make holes with the help of nail. You have to make holes on the tray. Keep the sponge on the center of the tray. Make sure there is no water in the sponge. You have to keep dry sponge in the center of the tray which have holes. Pour water on the sponge with a big spoon. Note how many spoons of water have been poured. Keep pouring water with the spoon till the sponge becomes wet with water. You have to keep pouring water on sponge with spoon, and you have to take recording record you have to keep record how much spoons of water you have pour on the sponge. Water even after that. Note that what happens if you keep pouring water even after that. Now study the following questions. Okay, keep pouring water with the spoon till the sponge becomes wet with water. So the sponge will become wet with water. Then also you have to keep pouring water on the sponge, and observe it and answer the following question. What happened to the water which was poured initially? When you are pouring water, what happens? The water which was poured initially means starting में जब आपने पानी डाला तो क्या हुआ? The water which was poured initially was absorbed by the sponge. And when you were pouring water on the sponge, what did you expect? When we were pouring water on the sponge, we expected that water will trickle out from the sponge. So you were continuously you were pouring water on the sponge. What happened when you poured more water on the sponge? When you are pouring water continuously on the sponge, what do you observe? When we poured more water on the sponge, the water trickled out from the sponge. You made holes on the tray. From that holes, water will trickle down. So in this way, same we get rains. Okay. What is the conclusion you draw from this? After certain limit, the water holding capacity of sponge gets ended and it becomes saturated. You will observe that sponge is not absorbing water, and that condition is called saturated condition. Same happens with rain. Similarly, when the proportion of moisture exceeds its limit, precipitation occurs. जब एयर की भी लिमिट खत्म हो जाती है वाटर वेपर्स को होल्ड करने की, then we get rain. Similarly, when the proportion of moisture exceeds its limit, precipitation in the form of rain occurs on the earth. Higher the temperature of the air, higher the water holding capacity of the air. If temperature is more, water holding capacity is also more. Hence, in summer, water holding capacity of air is more, and in winter, water holding capacity of air is low. As we go higher, air becomes cool, and hence water holding capacity of air decreases. जब हम हिल स्टेशन पे जाते हैं तो वहाँ की हवा ठंडी होती है और वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी एयर की बहुत कम होती है. So students, now we are going to study very important concept, very important concept, that is humidity. Humidity means amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity, and humidity is measured in grams per cubic meter. When the air is 0 gram cubic meter of such air is said to be a dry air. When moisture in the air is 0 gram cubic meter, such air is said to be a dry air. I said you, moisture is measured, humidity is measured in gram per cubic meter. 0 gram per cubic meter means the air is dry. If the temperature of air is 30 degrees Celsius, humidity is 37 gram per cubic meter, such air is said to be saturated air. temperature is 30 degrees Celsius and humidity is 37 grams per cubic meter. Such air is said to be a saturated. Students, read table on page number 18. On page number 18, one table is given. Calculate the difference in the capacities by observing the following table. You have to observe the following table. So in first column, temperature of air is given. Temperature of air is in degrees Celsius, that is -5, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 degrees Celsius. So such readings are given. Vapor holding capacity in gram per cubic meter 3.26, 4.85, 6.80, 9.40, 12.83, 17.30, 30.37, 51.12. This is the water holding capacity of air, and you have to take out the difference. So in first column the difference is no difference is there. In second column you have bigger figure is 4.85. You have to minus from 4.85 minus 3.26 and you will get answer 1.59. In maths you have studied decimals. What is point के आपने प्लस और माइनस सीखे हैं, तो आपको इसमें माइनस करना है. बड़े नंबर में से छोटा नंबर को माइनस करने के बाद आपको आंसर्स मिलेंगे और वो आंसर्स ये कॉलम में लिखने हैं. व्हेन यू विल सब्ट्रैक्ट 4.85 from 3.26 from 4.85, you will get answer 1.59. When you will subtract 4.85 from 6.80, you will get answer 1.95. So difference in the capacities gram per cubic meter. So answers you will write, first column dash you will put, in second row you will write 1.59, third row you will write 1.95, fourth you will write 2.60, fifth you will write 3.43, next you will write 4.47, then 13.07, and last difference is 20.75. Just I have subtracted a smaller number from bigger number, and we will get the difference in the capacities. Dear students, let's study absolute humidity. What is meant by absolute humidity? This word is very hard, absolute humidity, but the definition is very simple definition of absolute humidity, that is amount of water vapor in 1 cubic meter of air is called absolute humidity. Amount water vapor in 1 cubic meter of air is called absolute humidity. Absolute humidity of coastal area is higher. Absolute humidity in equatorial area is higher. Absolute humidity in polar area is lower. Okay. So what is absolute humidity? Humidity in 1 cubic meter of air is called absolute humidity. Absolute humidity in coastal area is higher, in equatorial area is higher, and absolute humidity in mountainous area or polar region is lower. Dear students, on page number 18 textbook, questions are given. You have to use your brain power. Your brain is very sharp, strong. You have to give the answer. In which season is humidity generally more? Humidity is generally more in monsoon. How does the humidity affect the human body? Is there any effect on human body? The rate of respiration and sweating increases due to humidity. How humidity affects on our body? We get sweating due to humidity. अब आप मुंबई गोवा जाएंगे तो आपको बहुत स्वेटिंग होगी, बहुत पसीना आएगा. So this is the effect on human body of humidity. Observe how humidity affects the food materials at our home and write about the same. What is the effect of humidity on food? Due to humidity, fungus grows, develops on food materials at our home and it goes spoiled. Humidity के वजह से हमारा फूड खराब हो जाता है, उसमें फंगस आ जाती है और ये फूड हमारे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा नहीं होता खाने के लिए. Is there any relationship between formation of fungus and humidity? There is a direct relationship between formation of fungus and humidity. Humidity support the growth of fungus. अगर रेनी सीजन में हम हमारे दरवाजे खिड़कियां सब बंद करके 5-6 महीने के लिए गांव चले गए, तो आपको आपके घर में गद्दियों पे हर जगह आपको फंगस दिखेगी। तो फंगस क्या, ये ह्यूमिडिटी क्या करती है, सपोर्ट करती है फंगस के ग्रोथ के लिए। सो द रिलेशन, डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप इज देयर in the formation of fungus and humidity. Humidity helps to grow the fungus. How is the early or late drying up of clothes related to humidity? आपने देखा होगा अभी बारिश हो गई, बहुत बारिश हो रही है, बहुत क्लाउड्स है, तो आपके घर के कपड़े, रोज के धोए हुए कपड़े सूखते ही नहीं है। तो ओके, सो जब हवा में मॉइस्चर बहुत होता है तो कपड़े सूखने के लिए टाइम लगता है। सो एज द मॉइस्चर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी इज फाउंड टू बी हाई in low humidity air, it leads to be early drying up of clothes. समर में मॉइस्चर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा होती है, इसलिए समर में क्लोथ्स फास्ट ड्राई होते हैं। और मॉइस्चर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी इज फाउंड टू बी लो इन हाई ह्यूमिडिटी एयर, it leads to late drying of clothes. If in air high humidity is there, water vapors are more in air, then it takes long time to dry the clothes. So students, in today's class we have studied humidity and clouds lesson. In that we have covered evaporation, we have studied humidity in the air, and we have studied absolute humidity. So students, in next video class we are going to study relative humidity and types of clouds. We are going to study condensation, densification, sublimation, clouds and types of clouds. Very interesting part we are going to study in next video. Till that, dear students, study, read the lesson, watch videos. Okay, you should not waste your time. Regularly you should watch videos and continue your study. Best luck students. Have a nice day. Thank you.